Today I would like to discuss some very important topic that becomes a big issue for many couples nowadays. Not only nowadays, pretty sure that back in the days, women also encountered the same type of stuff. However, now it's even more, especially because of the internet, because you can find anything online. So, is having a BDSM session with a dominatrix cheating? Do we consider it cheating? Do we consider cheating, being financially devoted to someone online or watching someone's clips? Okay, let's not talk about clips. Let's not, include something more impersonal. Let's talk about experience when a male sub, or someone's husband or someone's boyfriend engages in some kind of connection with a dominant woman who provides some kind of services. And I'm going to speak both about offline and online. And I want to specify that I'm not speaking about escort. I'm just speaking about BDSM sessions, online and offline. Because BDSM sessions, as we know, they do not include traditional sex. They do not include PIV sex. Hence, this is even more complicated. When we see a man who pays for sex, this is kind of obvious. This is like, that's cheating. Even if for some women, they say, oh no, that's not cheating. That's just like, it doesn't involve any emotions. Hence, I don't feel that he cheated on me. For some women that's different, but at least it's clear that it's a sex act, not just a sexual act like BDSM. Because as we know, BDSM is a psychosexual act. You go to satisfy not only sexual needs or your very specific sexual needs that you can't satisfy in other spheres of your life. And I would like to see it from the perspective of a woman whose husband engages in this type of activities, and also from the point of view of a sub. And maybe we will see from Dom's perspective as well, So imagine that you are a woman and all of a sudden you find out that your husband goes to some kind of very strange sessions where he gets beaten, where he gets humiliated, where like some woman does terrible things to him and he enjoys that. Most women probably would be quite shocked, to find out that not only he lies to her, spends some money like somewhere else for another woman, but also she would probably think that he's weird, that he's a pervert, and she wouldn't accept that most of the time. And then you have a choice, what to do with this. What do we call cheating? Cheating is defined by the specific couple. Is that cheating for you? Like if you're a woman, you may reply in the comments. Would it be cheating? Do you consider it cheating? Or if there is no penetrational sex, except him being the receiver, then it's not cheating. And when you find out, what you're gonna do? You have several options. You can break up with this man. You can talk to him and he can promise you that it will never happen again. Or, as maybe some sexually liberated people would recommend, that you also engage in this type of kink. And there are examples when couples go together to a dominatrix, or a woman tries to be a dominatrix for this man. His wife. And here we also have to determine, why would you do that? Are you doing this to save the relationship and because you just want to satisfy his needs? Or are you doing this because you're truly interested and because you really want it as well? Or are you doing it in order to prove that you are better than other women? So you keep this man at home so he wouldn't go anywhere else? Or you just don't want to notice any perversions of this man, yeah. And when I use this quotation marks, because perversions are, well, it's often hard to determine what is a perversion. Do you come to the agreement that he doesn't do it anymore, but then you lose trust and you keep checking his phone? Or maybe you allowed it sometimes in order to save the marriage? Or maybe, I don't know, what are the options? What would you do? But there is one aspect I would like to talk about. These are the secondary benefits for women who get cheated on or lied to. And now I want you to be very careful when you listen to what I'm saying, okay? Because I will try to choose my words specifically, and don't you dare twist them. I will come in your worst nightmares. There are conscious aspects of your behavior, and there are subconscious behaviors as well. So the secondary benefits is not when we clearly realize why we want this. Yeah, why we choose some type of scenario in our life. It happens subconsciously again. But it's based on us somehow benefiting from this situation. For example, if you take, that's maybe it's not a very accurate comparison, yeah, but for example, when a woman lives, like a single mother finds a new man, she starts living with him. And let's imagine that he's a P word. And she prefers not to notice. Of course, eventually, like after some years or months, she would say, when everything is clear, yeah, she would say that she didn't know anything. However, I believe that we all know everything about each other on some subconscious level. We just prefer not to notice, because as soon as we notice, we have to deal with the consequences. I think that you should be so aware of everything that's going on around you. Or another example, the wife of Ted Bundy didn't know till the end about his special entertainments. She didn't know. Imagine that you live with a man and you don't know what he's doing. Of course you wouldn't know. But I'm not talking about the conscious level. I'm talking about this gut, or I would say womb feeling that we as women have. We sense it. But often we decide to shut it down. Yeah, because as soon as it's clear, as soon as it's revealed, we have to deal with the consequences. We have to address the problem. And I can't believe 100% that when you live with a man for years, you don't know about his preferences. When I talk to subs, they tell me that, well, they either try to talk to their wives, yeah, or somehow to give them a hint, even if they are afraid. Women often prefer not to notice because they want a normal life, and I don't blame them for this. Yeah, they want like a normal man, a normal family. They don't want to deal with this. Another secondary benefit is that after a man engages in this type of forbidden activity, he feels guilty. And he tries to overcompensate by being a better husband, being a better father, yeah? So some of these men, after they had a session with the dominatrix, they feel ashamed. They feel guilty for what they did. Every time they look at their wife, they know what they did, and they are scared that she would find out. And maybe they will start showering her with gifts. Maybe like they're better at helping in the house. Obviously, it's not the only scenario. Sometimes men can completely change their behavior, yeah? I'm not talking that it's like the general rule. Maybe after that, he will start actually projecting it on her, that she's also a cheater. But again, we are talking about some subconscious secondary benefits for women, why they live in this type of situation. And it's not that she's like, okay, this is like this is like that, and I choose this. No, often these things, they happen without her realizing it on the subconscious level. If we see it from the position of a submissive man, I also understand them. Yeah, like imagine that you live with a family, you have to be like the strong man to provide, to do everything for your family, yeah, to take care of your wife, of your kids, to work. Because who are these men who engage in like real life BDSM sessions? Often these are successful men who have lots of responsibilities at work, and they come to a dominatrix to basically, well, lose control, relax. They like this stuff. Again, that's not the only option. Yeah, that's just an example. And here we can understand this man. At the same time, when we say, yeah, this is a strong man who needs a safe space to be weak. But is this a strong man who could not communicate his needs with his partner beforehand? Okay, maybe when he got married, he didn't know, or he tried to suppress his desires. Then later, why don't you have this level of open communication when you can be clear and open with your partner? I wish it was like this. I wish we all had this type of relationships where we can be ourselves fully. But unfortunately, that's not the reality. And lots of these men find something on the side. And I understand them, however, I do not justify them. First of all, I advocate for worshiping your wife. If you're a submissive man, try to worship your wife first. And I talked to a bunch of submissive men about it, and they all tell me that's not the same. Yeah, because she doesn't feel dominant. She's not dominant. She doesn't want to do it. As soon as I try to kiss her feet, yeah, like to kneel before her, she was like, oh, what are you doing? Like, that's weird. Don't do this. And I understand that it's hard. As someone who is kinky, yeah, I have some certain preferences when it comes to sex. I understand that it's hard. However, you have to find a compromise. Like, you live with this person. There are men who would immediately search for something behind his wife's back. Yeah, like he would find what he wants, and he would justify it for himself. Like, yeah, there is no PIV sex. That's not cheating. Okay, let's ask your wife. Does she consider it cheating? Does she have the same opinion? Would she agree with you? Go and ask her. Yeah, let's see. But there are different types of men. There are men who try to save their relationship and who try to be honest with their wives, even if their wives don't want to participate in this. And I had this submissive man. He wasn't my sub. He reached out for mentorship, and I was basically guiding him, what to do in his situation, because he is a husband and a father, and he was more, well, let's say like relatively feminine type of submission, where he didn't want to like actively please a woman, but he wanted to be taken care of. He liked feminization, sissification, and all this kind of stuff. But he didn't want to lie to his wife. He asked me what to do about it, basically. And my recommendation was to realize what kind of needs you cover by engaging in these fetishes. Because fetish, again, it's a tool. Well, what do you want? You want to be held. You want to be taken care of. You want this like strong physical grip, but also gentle sometimes. You want a bigger figure who is above you. Like why subs like someone who seems like abusive, like a sadist, because that's a strong person, and even if they hurt them, it means that this person would also protect them. They feel protected. They feel like When you lose control, it also means that you are not responsible for anything. Okay, someone else is responsible for you. And I gave him recommendations. I gave him a list of things to do, a list of activities to engage in to satisfy these needs. All of them, basically. And I hope that he's doing fine. Because when you don't want to ruin your family, you have to compromise. Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to lie? If you are going to lie. And again, like now I'm not trying to like pretend that I have some like strict moral compass here, even if I say, yeah, go and worship your wife and everything and against lying. But let's see it from the perspective of a sub, yeah? What kind of decision can you make here? Non-lying, but still somehow satisfying your needs? Suppressing your needs? Being all clingy and needy and like keep poking your wife, dominate me until she leaves you because you're annoying? Or you engage in this type of sessions behind her back? Well, in this case, I know that, again, my words will be twisted, yeah, that I'm encouraging them to lie, but no. If you engage in this type of activities, well, you have to make sure she doesn't know, because it would feel like a knife in the back. Lots of women would be so against it because you spend money as well. It's not only that you're a pervert, it's not only that you do something sexual with another woman, but also because you spend family money on this. The money that you're supposed to give to your wife. That's another aspect. Yeah, that's also very important. And here we come to financial domination that men engage online. They have this like pocket dominatrix. You take out your phone and you're like, whenever you need to satisfy your needs, you send. And here I would like to mention this fetish, you know, when men want to discuss their wife with a dom online, like, oh, my wife is so ugly, she's nothing like you. That's an interesting type of fetish, actually. Yeah, again, I don't want you to take it like seriously, because it often is just a fetish. But imagine that you are a wife and you find this conversation. Another reason why men engage in this type of activities, with other doms, is because they want to feel important. They want to feel needed. And when there are some type of cat fights, when you see these doms posting like, oh, I'm better than your wife, it's basically like pick me behavior. Yeah, like cheat on your wife, I'm worth it. Okay, and by cheating she means obviously like send money and be hers, even if like you're not gonna get actual sex, but still we consider it cheating, right? And men love it because, wow, 2 women are fighting for him. He's so important. He's so probably masculine. He's so attractive that 2 women, or maybe 3, maybe like, I don't know how many doms he can afford to speak to, but all these women want his attention. Wow. And when I say that men want attention, again, I'm not judging them. We all want attention. We all love attention. We all love to feel important. Now let's see it from the perspective of doms. Okay? And here again, a dom who just provides a fetish, a session, a BDSM session. This would be a little bit different than a fin dom. Actually, because if it's not a dom-sub relationship, if it's just an occasional session, she is, just a service provider. I'm not saying that she doesn't get emotionally involved, because we women like to get emotionally involved, and women are very empathetic, and I just adore these conversations when like sex workers try to prove their worth to others by saying, we saved this man. Okay, now it's not about BDSM session, but in general, sex work. We saved this man because like his wife, she has, a vaginal cancer and she can't have sex, and this man is depressed, and so we saved this man. I mean, I laugh at these statements. I understand that they feel like that they're basically saints, basically like the biggest helpers of this planet to this poor man. But I think men would survive. Go jerk off if your wives have some kind of issues. Yeah, like if we take BDSM session providers, they're all very understanding. All very understanding, because men need a release, finally, to feel what they never felt, probably. And again, it's not just money. It makes you feel important. It makes you feel like someone who gives this man something he never experienced, something that he can live through only with you. You are so important. It's more than money for a dom. Yeah, that's like a mission to liberate this man, to erase their toxic masculinity, to take a burden from their shoulders. I'm here for you. And okay, I understand that I sound like as if I'm mocking them. No, I'm not, because I also felt this way. I understand what I'm talking about. I just want to look at things from different perspectives, and I don't want to idealize one of these sides, of these three sides. Yeah, wife, husband, and a dom. We all have benefits. We all have disadvantages, delusions, positive sides, negative sides. No one is perfect here. And I don't stand by anyone's side. For me, that's very interesting to observe these doms online, who specifically target married subs with this type of advertisements, like I'm better than your wife is uglier than my feet, and something like that. Yeah, I mean, obviously that's just a fetish that attracts this type of men with specific needs. But I think that for some of them, it's a little bit more than a fetish, because we are all little girls. We all come from our childhood. And this behavior, like pick me, choose me, it's not only, financially beneficial for us, it also feeds our self-esteem. Because being a dom feeds your self-esteem. It boosts your ego, and we know that. And I'm speaking it from experience, not from the point of judging women who do that. Well, to sum it up, I would say that cheating is what you define as cheating. There's no clear definition of cheating, because for some people, sex wouldn't be cheating. But it would be cheating if you did not notify your partner. Yeah, like if we speak about open relationships, this is not something I would consider for myself, but it does not matter. It does not matter what I think and what I would prefer to myself. Yeah, like my preferences do not determine other people's definitions of cheating. Because I can see like a lot of discussions about it, when people just put very strict norms on each other, and it's either like too strict or too loose. Having an honest conversation with your partner is hard. It is hard, especially if you never had it before, especially if you know that you're going to be shut down, you're not going to be understood, and you have to make a choice. I'm not telling you that, okay, just go to your wife and tell her, I'm a sub, I want to do this, I want to do that. Okay, I'm not going to talk about it. The thing is that what I consider right is not necessarily right. There are actions and there are consequences. And that's pretty much it. And that's what you always have to bear in mind. Whatever you do, have consequences. Yeah? Not only physical type of consequences, like obvious type of consequences when maybe your wife is not going to find out, maybe nothing is going to happen to you, maybe she's not going to divorce you, but you have to understand that most subs who engage in occasional sessions feel guilty after that, because they don't see their submission as something to glorify, something to be proud of. They see it as a flaw. They see it as something to be ashamed of, a secret to hide, because it stems from fetish-driven behaviors, like addiction type of behaviors, like something, because again, the more you suppress your shadow, the bigger it grows. And that's it for today. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. And if you want to thank me for my videos, there is a link in the description. Leave your comments down below if you consider sessions and serving a dom as cheating. Yeah, what do you think about it? I appreciate my audience on YouTube actually, because I can see a lot of well-expressed people, a lot of sane people, a lot of people who are ready for discussions. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.